All right. What is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We're going to talk about the biotech sector. All right. We're going to take a look at XBI in today's video. Now, XBI is going to be just your standard biotech ETF. Okay. And if you are into leverage, you can look at LABU, LABD, different things like that, different leverage instruments. You can also look at options, okay, as another form of leverage. Different ways to get leverage, but we're not going to break it down all of the different leverage ETF charts in today's video. We're just going to keep things simple, okay? Break down XBI and take a look at the biotech sector as a whole so you guys can get a good idea of what it is that I'm looking at. I've been watching this one very, very closely, guys, okay? And there's something very specific I'm waiting for, okay? We currently have a triple bottom. That's not what I'm waiting for, okay? Now, it could be a potential buy time due to that triple bottom. And the market could go more risk on. Biotech is arguably one of the most risk on asset classes in the stock market. And so if the market wants to go back risk on, you could see a good rotation into the XBI and into the biotech ETF. All right. We're going to break down my complete thoughts, why I haven't bought yet, what I'm looking for to potentially buy. All right, in today's video. So be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. As always, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. So please be sure to read through the full disclaimer. All right, so here we are on our trading view chart, okay? And I'm going to break down and give you guys all of my thoughts and opinions. So, currently, you can see it says demand zone here. Let's go over some very simple concept, guys, okay? Old support becomes new resistance, old demand becomes new supply. And so you can see here, we built this original demand zone right here, indicated by these arrows, right? We had clear demand pushing price higher, clear demand pushing price higher. Okay. And each time, what's crazy about this demand zone is each time we pushed higher out of this demand zone, we created a head and shoulders, right? Here, head and shoulders. Okay. Again, here we push out of it, create another head and shoulders. Pretty crazy to me. Okay. That demand zone is like a head and shoulders demand zone. It's pretty crazy. But that demand zone has now turned into a supply zone. Okay. So you can see, we came here and now we rejected it, right? So old support becomes new resistance, right? So if we do get a push to the upside, this area here between $88 and $77.50, this is going to be an overhead supply zone. This is going to be an area to watch out for, okay? We're going to dive into that a little bit deeper, but I just wanted to break down, yes, this does say demand zone, but at the moment, it is currently an overhead supply zone, okay? I just didn't feel like changing this box to red and changing this to supply, right? I can look at these things and tell the difference, okay, that it's no longer a demand zone. We were looking for a bounce in this area, but we didn't get it. Now, with that being said, we are retesting a prior demand zone below that area where we bounced here. We bounced here, and we're showing signs of potentially bouncing here again. So you could call this a triple bottom, right? With 1, 2, 3 right here, and you would be looking for a move to the upside. Okay, so it's going to be really important to see, do we consolidate in between the 75 to 72.5 area, right? This is our consolidation zone, and ultimately we need to see buyers step in and push price higher, or we need to see this demand zone turn into an area of supply, just as it did over here, okay, where we turned old support, old demand into new resistance, into new supply, and push down lower. If we do push down lower, the bearish price targets are still the same from the last video, 66.80 and 59.77. So if we break below 72.50 and we flip 72.50 from resistance to support, or I'm sorry, from support to resistance, okay, this is going to be the target, 66.80, right? That's where I think we're going to potentially head down to. But what's really interesting to me, all right, is actually going to be the trend lines here. So we have two very important trend lines on our chart. We have this prevailing downtrend right here. It's very clear this is a prevailing downtrend. And then we have this actually bump down, okay? And so you can see where the downtrend is much more aggravated, is much more aggressive right here versus this prevailing downtrend that we have. This is a simple pattern known as a bump and run. And in this case, it's an inverse bump and run. This is the signal that I'm personally waiting for, okay? Essentially, what happens on an inverse bump and run is price goes down dramatically, okay, and continues this downtrend, and it may even hit our bearish price target here of 66.80 or come down near it. But once you break this trend line here, the way the pattern works is you're supposed to come up towards the second trend line, and you're actually supposed to break out above the second trend line and head back up towards where the pattern began, which would put this is the wrong drawing right here. Let me just draw a little zone for you guys real quick. Okay. And so that would actually put us up in this zone right around here from about $95 up to about $97.50, right? And that's if this plays out as a very textbook inverse bump and run. And we get a breakout, 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 and head up towards where the pattern began. That's what I'm waiting for as a buy signal on the XBI sector, okay? You could come in here and buy and have a stop loss, below 72.50, maybe at $72, maybe at 71, maybe at 70, however you want to define your own risk to reward ratio. Okay, the big thing that we all need to be concerned about is this new overhead supply zone, right? So where it says demand zone here, this is actually now new overhead supply. If we were to get a false breakout, okay, and so let me clear the chart for you guys and make it even clearer yet again. Okay, so if we were to get a false breakout above this trend line here and actually reject there and come back down within this range, that's going to be a look above and fail. Now, this is very, very significant, okay? And the reason being that this is so significant is because this point here, where we come and retest the trend line, so let's say we do break out, pull back, and if we were to come back and retest the trend line here, okay, right around this area in our demand zone, and also at a retest of the trend line, okay, that is the literal time for bulls to step in. This is literally when bulls on XBI and buyers in demand is supposed to step in and send price shooting up higher, right, towards the upper trend line. If that does not happen, it's a look above and fail, meaning that sellers are in control. And the reason being is because at the moment, right, whenever it came and had the opportunity for the retest of the trend line and the retest of the demand zone, buyers did not step in. Demand did not step in. And that's a clear example that sellers are in control, and it's going to push price lower, and we're going to gravitate towards our bearish price targets to the downside. So keep all of this in mind if you're looking to trade things like LABU, LABD, if you're looking to trade options, any type of form of leverage, these are the factors that you want to consider. Now, again, it does offer a nice setup here, okay? We're currently testing a demand zone. We have a nice hammer candle right here on the daily chart. If you want to set a stop loss below the most recent lows, or if you want to set a stop loss at $70 and you're looking to play the upside, okay? And so you're looking to take profit at the top, or the bottom of the demand zone or the top of the demand zone, look at your risk to reward ratio, right? So here, you're essentially risking this much, right? And so let's put a horizontal line at where price action currently is. So, essentially you're risking this much right here, okay, to potentially make this much up here, okay? So, it's not a bad trade setup here at the moment. It's just not what I'm looking for, okay? I'm not looking to play the demand zone. I'm not looking to play the triple bottom. All right, there's a lot of other things that I'm paying a lot more attention to right now at the moment. I think there's a lot of better other opportunities in the market. And so I'm not stepping in here, and I'm not going to be part of this demand to potentially push price higher. I'd rather wait and look for a breakout, retest of the trend line, retest of the demand zone, okay, and look for the move up higher. If we can get this break of this trend line here, that's going to potentially set up that inverse bump and run pattern that we have here via our trend lines. And this has been a very, good pattern to me, okay, in 2023. All right, it's been basically my favorite pattern of 2023, both the inverse bump and run pattern as well as the regular bump and run pattern. And both of them have treated me very nicely. And, that's just something that I'm seeing right now. in the XBI, and that's something that I'd rather wait for than try to get in early and try to time the bottom. I'd rather look for signs of a bottom being formed, look for buyers to step in, okay, and look for the retest of buyers, right? So, I want to see buyers step in. I want to see demand come in the market. And then when sellers, come in and push price lower for a retest, we may not get that retest, but this is like a textbook scenario, right? We come in, bounce off demand, retest the trend line, retest demand. And that's a very textbook scenario where you come in and you buy here and look for buyers to step in, look for demand to step in. If it doesn't, then it's very clear that sellers are in control, supply is in control, and it's going to push lower to the bearish price target. So that's essentially it for the update on XBI. I do want to mention that I started a completely free newsletter for you guys, okay, giving out really good, free, valuable finance content. It's called Investment Intelligence. I also give out free trade ideas in there. So this was a trade idea on Tesla from 3 or 4 weeks ago, going over some of the conditions we're looking at. Okay, that played out very nicely if you trade options. Even if you don't trade options, it was still a very nice trade. ExxonMobil was another one from over a month ago, going over some of the conditions on ExxonMobil when it was at 111. All right, you can see it rallied up higher after that. Another really good trade right there. Not all of them are long positions, right? We also go over some short positions. SWK was another one. You can see we had the rising wedge right here going over where we think price target could head down towards. And you can see it played out exactly like that over a month later. So, sign up for the newsletter. It's completely free. There's a link in the description as well as the comment section down below. And I also started a Ko-Fi page. So, if you guys ever want my thoughts, my analysis on a specific sector, specific ticker, you want a video on a specific strategy or a tutorial, come to Ko-Fi. You can click on the commissions page and request a specific YouTube video there, right? Not only that, but now you can actually book the one-on-one personal sessions directly through Ko-Fi. Okay, so you don't have to go through the email. I don't have to fish through my email. Sometimes I miss people's emails for the sessions. You can actually book them directly through Ko-Fi now. You can get a 30-minute session, a 1-hour session. And if you ever enjoy the free valuable content that I put out here on YouTube, you can always click on the buy a coffee button. And it's basically a way to leave a tip or donation for, the free valuable content I put out for you guys. So thank you guys for watching the video. Smash the like button, subscribe for more, sign up for the newsletter, reach out to me on Ko-Fi, and I'll see you guys in the next one.